In the frozen north, something is stirring, not the hum of social democracy but the awakening of a nation that's spent centuries avoiding conflict. Sweden, long known for its quiet strength and peaceful diplomacy, is now facing a world that feels more uncertain than ever before. Sweden, land of forests and Volvos, is now sharpening its claws. The country that once prided itself on staying out of trouble is now preparing for the possibility that trouble might come knocking at its door. The world may not realize it, but Sweden is making bold moves on the global chessboard. Its actions are sending ripples far beyond its borders, signaling a new era for the Nordic nation. For decades, Sweden was the model of neutrality, a peacekeeper, a moral compass. Its blue-helmeted peacekeepers were symbols of hope in troubled regions, and its voice carried weight in international debates about peace and justice. But the war in Ukraine and Russia's aggression have shattered that illusion. The world Sweden knew has changed, and the threat feels closer than ever before. Neutrality is a luxury lost when neighbors break the rules. The Baltic Sea, once a symbol of connection, now feels like a front line. Sweden has made a profound choice. To keep the peace, it must prepare for war. The government is investing in its military, and the people are being asked to think differently about their own security. The evidence is everywhere: military spending surges, fighter jets deployed to NATO's eastern flank, and a rapid modernization of the Air Force. Sweden is not just reacting, it's planning, strategizing, and building alliances. At the center of this transformation is the JAS-39 Gripen fighter jet. Sleek, agile, and designed for the harsh Nordic environment, the Gripen is more than a machine. It's a symbol of Sweden's resolve. A technical decision about the Gripen has sent geopolitical shockwaves from Stockholm to Moscow. The world is watching how Sweden's choices will shape the balance of power in Northern Europe. This is more than a policy shift. It's a fundamental change in Sweden's character. The country is redefining what it means to be Swedish in a world where peace can no longer be taken for granted. The government is urging citizens to prepare for crisis, distributing survival pamphlets. Families are learning where to find bomb shelters, and children are being taught what to do if the unthinkable happens. This isn't scaremongering, it's a cold calculation by a country sharing a maritime border with an unpredictable superpower. The threat is real, and Sweden is responding with clear-eyed determination. Every jet built, every pilot trained is a message. The Vikings are back, and this time, they're flying jets. Sweden's military is sending a signal: it will not be caught off guard. Sweden is no longer content to watch from the sidelines. It is stepping onto the stage, ready to defend its values and its people. The world is watching, even if it doesn't know it yet. Allies and adversaries alike are taking note of Sweden's new posture. The stakes are higher than ever. The decisions made in Stockholm today could echo across Europe for years to come, and Sweden is ready to meet them, determined to protect its future no matter what the cost. At the heart of Sweden's new defense strategy is the JAS-39 Gripen, a fighter jet that's rewriting the rules of aerial warfare for small nations. This isn't just another warplane. The Gripen is one of the world's most cunning and versatile fighter jets, a product of Swedish ingenuity and necessity. It's not the biggest or the fastest jet in the sky, but it's designed to be smarter, more adaptable, and nearly impossible to kill. Every detail is engineered for survival and surprise. Sweden's unique geography, dense forests, sprawling archipelagos, and long coastlines, demanded a jet that could take off from highways, land on short stretches of road, and be rearmed or refueled by just a handful of conscripts in minutes. The Gripen is a guerrilla warrior in the sky, built to survive, disappear, and strike back when least expected. It's a jet that thrives in chaos. Its small radar cross-section and advanced electronic warfare systems make it hard to detect and even harder to hit. The Gripen can jam, spoof, and outmaneuver threats that would down lesser jets. Crucially, it's affordable, allowing Sweden to field more jets for longer, a huge advantage for a small nation facing big threats. Maintenance is simple and upgrades are frequent, keeping the fleet modern without breaking the bank. Compared to the F-35 or Eurofighter, the Gripen is pragmatic, resilient, and quietly lethal. It's not about flashy technology but about reliability and real-world effectiveness. It's not for air shows, it's for winning wars Sweden hopes never to fight. The Gripen is a deterrent, a silent guardian always ready for the unexpected. The Gripen embodies Swedish innovation, resilience, and the will to survive against the odds. It's a masterpiece of efficiency, designed for worst-case scenarios, able to operate in freezing winters, remote locations, and under constant threat. While others build for dominance, Sweden builds for survival and flexibility. The Gripen can be hidden, moved, and launched from places the enemy would never expect. The Gripen is the perfect tool for a nation that must punch above its weight, outsmarting larger adversaries with speed and cunning. It's a jet built for the unexpected, for the sudden crisis, for the moment when everything is on the line. And right now, in a world of rising tensions and shifting alliances, that's exactly what Sweden needs. The world's Goliath should take note. Sweden's David is ready, and it's armed with a slingshot that flies at Mach 2. The Gripen is more than a jet. It's a statement of independence, innovation, and quiet strength. And in these uncertain times, its moment has truly arrived. In June 2025, Sweden signed a nearly 3 billion kroner deal with SAAB for 60 brand-new Gripen E fighters. On the surface, it's just another military contract. But the details reveal Sweden's new resolve. The original plan was to recycle parts from older Gripens to save money. That plan is gone. Now, every new Gripen E will be built from scratch, with no cannibalizing of the old fleet. Why? Because the security situation has changed. Sweden can't afford to ground a single jet. Every plane must be ready to fly at a moment's notice. The new Gripen E is a leap forward, more powerful, more fuel, more weapons, and advanced sensors. It's built to counter the latest Russian threats. By keeping the old jets and adding new ones, Sweden is rapidly expanding its air force. This is a bold investment and a clear signal to Moscow. Sweden is done relying on hope. It's relying on steel, technology, and readiness. The era of frugality is over. Sweden is forging a new shield for a new era. The older Gripen C and D jets, once destined for retirement, now have a vital new role. Instead of being mothballed or scrapped, these aircraft are being given a second life, reflecting Sweden's pragmatic approach to defense. Each jet represents years of investment and experience, and now, they're being called upon to serve in a rapidly changing security landscape. By building new Gripen E's from scratch, Sweden keeps its entire older fleet combat ready. This dual-track approach means the country isn't forced to choose between modernization and maintaining numbers. Instead, it's doing both, ensuring that no capability gap emerges as new jets roll off the assembly line. This is a strategic move, not an accident. Swedish defense planners have carefully weighed the risks and benefits, understanding that flexibility and readiness are more important than ever. The Swedish Air Force is expanding, not just modernizing. By growing its fleet, Sweden is sending a clear message. It's prepared to meet new threats head-on, and it's not content to simply keep pace with its neighbors. With Baltic tensions high, Sweden needs every jet for constant patrols and quick reaction alerts. The skies above the Baltic Sea have become a front line, and Swedish pilots are tasked with maintaining a vigilant watch, ready to respond at a moment's notice. In 2024 alone, Swedish fighters scrambled over 300 times to intercept Russian aircraft. These intercepts are not just routine, they're a daily reminder of the region's volatility and the need for a robust, responsive air force. Keeping both old and new jets flying ensures Sweden can maintain vigilance without exhausting resources. It's a force multiplier, allowing pilots to train, patrol, and respond without overburdening any single part of the fleet. But there's another reason: Ukraine. As the war drags on, the need for capable, reliable fighter jets in Ukraine grows ever more urgent. The Gripen is ideal for Ukraine's needs. Easy to fly, rugged, and built to counter Russian hardware. Its ability to operate from rough airstrips and in harsh conditions makes it uniquely suited for the challenges Ukrainian pilots face. By preserving its older fleet, Sweden keeps the option open to transfer jets to Ukraine without weakening its own defense. This flexibility could prove decisive, allowing Sweden to support an ally while remaining secure at home. It's a masterstroke of planning, bolstering Sweden's security while creating a powerful reserve for allies. Few countries can claim such a well-balanced approach to both national and regional defense. The old guard stands ready, not just for Sweden, but potentially to change the course of war in Europe. These jets, once considered obsolete, may soon play a pivotal role far beyond Swedish borders. Sweden's gamble is calculated, and the stakes are continental. The decision to keep every jet flying could shape the balance of power in Europe for years to come. For over 2 centuries, Sweden was proudly non-aligned. Russia's invasion of Ukraine shattered that tradition. In 2024, Sweden joined NATO, ending its neutrality and transforming European security. Sweden quickly proved its value, deploying Gripens to Poland for NATO air policing, flying patrols on the alliance's eastern flank. Defense spending surged past NATO's 2% GDP guideline, placing Sweden among the alliance's top contributors. Sweden's military is now fully integrated with NATO, sharing expertise and high-tech hardware. The era of quiet neutrality is over. Active deterrence has begun. Swedish submarines patrol with British and American fleets, The army trains with Nordic and Baltic neighbors. The Air Force with its Gripens is now a key pillar of NATO's northern defense. This isn't just a treaty, it's a total transformation. Sweden is no longer a bystander, it's a frontline defender in a new era of European security. The Gripen is just the beginning. Sweden is overhauling its entire air force. Every major aircraft is being replaced or upgraded, signaling a long-term commitment to technological superiority. New Grab G120TP trainers are preparing the next generation of pilots. 4. Embraer C390 Millennium transports boost Sweden's rapid deployment and logistics. Even VIP transport is upgraded for crisis mobility. Most crucially, Sweden is investing in more SAAB globalized surveillance aircraft, flying command centers with powerful sensors. These eyes in the sky give Sweden early warning and a unified view of the Baltic region. Sweden is even offering these systems to Denmark, building a regional surveillance network. This holistic approach, upgrading trainers, transports and surveillance, makes Sweden's air force resilient and networked. Modern air war is about intelligence, speed and adaptability. Sweden is building a fortress in the sky, not just buying jets. It's a methodical, expensive effort with a clear message. Sweden is preparing for whatever comes next. The war in Ukraine hangs over every Swedish decision. The question, will Sweden send its older Gripens to Kiev? For now, Stockholm is cautious, focusing on helping Ukraine integrate F-16s. Introducing Gripens now would complicate logistics, but the logic for sending them is strong. The Gripen was built for Ukraine's conditions: damaged runways, dispersed operations, and countering Russian air defenses. Its low cost and easy maintenance mean more jets in the fight. By keeping its older fleet, Sweden preserves a powerful option. Once Ukraine masters the F-16, a second wave of modernization could bring Gripens into the fight. This would be a massive boost for Ukraine and a clear escalation of Western support. The geopolitical impact would be huge. Sweden, once neutral, arming Ukraine with jets built to fight Russia. For now, it's hypothetical, but Sweden has kept the door open. The sword of Damocles hangs ready to fall if needed. Sweden's planning is deliberate and the world is watching. Sweden's actions send ripples across the globe, especially in Moscow. For Russia, Sweden's NATO membership and military buildup are a strategic nightmare. The Baltic Sea is now a NATO lake, complicating Russian operations and exposing key regions. Russia's response, more aggressive intercepts, naval posturing and hybrid warfare. Sweden's moves force Russia to divert resources, raising the cost of aggression. Other regional nations, Poland, Finland, the Baltics, see Sweden as a powerful new ally. Sweden's defense industry, led by SAAB, is expanding its influence, exporting Gripens and surveillance systems worldwide. The Gripen is becoming a symbol of smart, independent defense for middle powers. Sweden's transformation signals the end of the post-Cold War peace. The world is entering an era of competition and deterrence. Sweden's shift from peacekeeper to frontline warrior is a warning. The tectonic plates of power are moving. Decisions in Stockholm will shape Europe's security for decades. The world is watching and the stakes are rising. Summer 2025. Sweden stands transformed. No longer neutral, it's forged a sword and chosen its side. Building new Gripen-Es while keeping the old fleet is a defiant roar from the north. Sweden is arming itself with resolve and preparation. Russia will keep testing Sweden and NATO. The question of sending Gripens to Ukraine remains critical. Sweden must continue its military renewal, integrating with NATO and planning for future threats. The quiet days are over. Sweden is now a key player in European security. Its strategy is a blueprint for others. Invest in high-tech domestic hardware and commit to collective defense. Sweden has built its own security with ingenuity and steel. The story of the Gripen is the story of Sweden's awakening. The roar of jets is the new sound of Swedish resolve. The world has been put on notice. The Vikings are watching from the skies. Sweden is ready for whatever comes next.